It started on a quiet Sunday afternoon, the kind that blankets the town in sleepy silence and distant wind chimes. At the edge of the Mapleview shopping plaza, under the shade of a rusted bus stop bench, sat an elderly man, frail, hunched, and clearly struggling to catch his breath. His coat was too big for him, his shoes too worn, and the paper bag beside him was torn, its contents spilling cans of soup, a loaf of bread, and a crushed carton of milk. Nobody noticed him at first. Or maybe they did and chose to look away. He tried to stand. That's when it happened. Two teenagers on electric scooters, laughing too loud and too carelessly, zipped past him. One bumped into his leg. The other mocked his stumbling voice. Then, without warning, a fist flew, not from the man. From one of the boys, the old man's body hit the pavement with a sickening thud. People saw. People watched. A woman pushing a stroller gasped, but kept walking. A man on his phone paused for a second, then shrugged and moved on. An employee at a nearby coffee shop stepped outside, glanced over, then ducked right back in. Not one hand was extended. Not one voice raised. In protest, the old man groaned, slowly turning onto his side, holding his ribs. His glasses were broken. His dignity shattered. Far worse. Minutes passed. The teenagers disappeared. The parking lot resumed its rhythm. A breeze rustled a plastic bag near the curb, as if the world had exhaled and decided, "This isn't my problem." Then an engine roared. A matte black SUV sped into the lot and skidded to a halt near the old man. The door swung open, and a soldier in full army dress blues stepped out with urgency in his stride and a fire in his eyes. "Dad?" the man shouted. Dropping to his knees beside the broken figure, the old man blinked slowly, recognizing the face above him. A trembling smile formed. "Eli." His son gently placed a hand behind his father's back. "Who did this to you?" he asked, his voice calm but dangerous. "Just kids." "Don't make a fuss," the old man whispered, wincing. Eli didn't reply. Instead, he reached for his earpiece. "Code 3. Lock it down?" Less than 3 minutes later, 3 more military vehicles pulled into the plaza. Men and women in uniform exited swiftly. Shoppers and bystanders froze. Eli stood tall and pointed toward the center of the parking lot. Surround him, now. His team moved like clockwork. In seconds, a human shield had formed around the old man. Uniforms created a barrier. Backs turned to him in silent reverence. Now everyone watched. But this time, not in silence. A teenager whispered to his mom, "Who is that man?" Someone replied, "Must be someone important." Someone finally asked, "Is he okay? Should we help?" An older woman stepped forward. "That man, he used to give free guitar lessons at the community center. My grandson adored him." Another man, sheepish, approached with a bottle of water and set it gently down. Then the unexpected happened. One of the teenagers who had hit the old man, he had circled back, watching from behind the gas station, maybe guilt, maybe curiosity. But when he saw the wall of soldiers, his smirk vanished. Eli turned his head slightly. "You come here." The boy hesitated. "I said, come here," Eli repeated, not yelling, just stating a fact. A truth too heavy to ignore. Trembling, the boy approached. He stopped 5 feet away, hands shaking. "I didn't mean to. I didn't know He's not just my father," Eli said, eyes locked. "He served in Vietnam, 2 tours, saved his entire unit during an ambush. Came back with scars you can't see?" The boy looked down. "He taught free music to kids like you for 20 years. He gave even when he had nothing." I'm sorry," the boy asked him, ERED. Eli took a step forward. "Sorry doesn't fix broken ribs. But maybe you'll remember this moment the next time you see someone weaker than you." He turned back to his father. "We'll get you help, Dad. I'm fine," the old man muttered. "You didn't have to bring an army." Eli chuckled, a soft break in his otherwise stern face. "You are an army, Dad, always have been." Paramedics arrived minutes later, called in by Eli's unit. They gently lifted the old man, now more alert, more confused than hurt. But as he was wheeled away, something beautiful happened. The crowd, once silent, once absent, began to clap. First a few, then dozens. Someone even placed a hand over their heart. He wasn't invisible anymore. 12 days later, the community center was packed. A local reporter had run the story, and now Vietnam veteran assaulted. Son responds with military honor had gone viral. People brought flowers, letters, kids made cards with crayons, and in the middle of it all sat the old man, now with healing. Bruises, glasses repaired, and a new cane gift from the same teenager who had struck him. The boy had come back the next day, alone, not with excuses, but with questions and apologies. And tears. He had begged to volunteer at the center, to carry groceries, to listen to stories from other veterans. The old man, against the judgment of many, had smiled and said, "Everyone falls. What matters is how you stand back." A month later, the military convoy returned. But this time for a different reason. The city had decided to rename the plaza James Ellison Veterans Square. And in the unveiling ceremony, as the mayor thanked the local hero, Eli stood beside his father, this time not as a rescuer, but simply as a proud son. "Why did you bring the whole team that day?" The mayor asked Eli, later in private. Eli looked at his father, who was gently tuning a guitar for a child nearby. "Because kindness deserves backup. Because I wanted the world to remember what it ignored." He paused. "Because when humanity fails, duty answers."